My parents took me to court for buying a house. I saved $68,000 over 6 years as a software engineer, cut out vacations, drove my beat-up Honda Civic, ate homemade lunches every single day, found a house in Riverside Heights for $340,000, my dream neighborhood. Closed on it 3 weeks ago. At the closing table, my phone kept buzzing. 13 missed calls from my best friend Natalie. Her text, "Call me now. Your sister just posted something insane about your house." Lauren's Instagram post, "When your parents promised you the house money, but your sister swoops in and steals it first. Betrayed daughter, family drama." I called my dad immediately. "What is Lauren talking about?" Silence. Then his voice went cold. "The inheritance from grandma. That was always supposed to go to Lauren for a house. You knew that, Brenda." My stomach dropped. "Dad, I had no idea what you're talking about. We discussed this when you were both in grad school. It was understood." I was shaking now. "Grandmas will split everything 50-50. I have the paperwork, $42,000 each. I used mine to pay off student loans 3 years ago. Lauren bought a Lexus with hers and went to Europe." "Nevertheless," he said, "you went against the family arrangement. Our lawyer Bernard Hamilton will contact you tomorrow." He hung up. I sat there staring at my phone. Natalie grabbed my shoulder. "Did your parents just threaten to sue you?" The next morning, I hired Victoria Brennan, an attorney who specializes in family property disputes. "Your parents' case sounds extremely weak," she said, "but family courts are unpredictable." I called my Uncle Gerald in Phoenix. "Did Dad ever mention Lauren getting special house money?" Long pause. "No, but your dad always favored Lauren. Ever since she was born, she could do no wrong." Then my Aunt Diane, who lived with my grandparents before they died. "Oh, Brenda, I was afraid something like this would happen." My blood went cold. "What do you mean?" "Your father approached your grandparents 8 months before your grandma passed. He wanted them to change the will to give Lauren extra money specifically for a house. Your grandma refused. She was furious. She said both granddaughters were getting equal shares and she wouldn't play favorites." I could barely breathe. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I didn't want to cause drama. But if they're taking you to court with lies, someone needs to tell the truth." 3 months later, we're in court. My dad stands up. "My daughter stole her sister's rightful inheritance." Their lawyer slides over witness statements from my parents, Lauren, and my mom's sister, who I barely even talked to. Victoria presents our evidence. Signed affidavits from Uncle Gerald and Aunt Diane, both present at the will reading. Complete bank records showing every dollar of my down payment came from my TechCorp salary over 6 years. "This isn't about money source," their lawyer argues. "It's about family agreements. It's about my parents promising my sister my grandparents' money without their knowledge." I interrupt. "And when grandma refused to change her will, they fabricated this story." Lauren suddenly changes tactics, her voice going soft. "Brenda, you could just buy another house. I've been dreaming about that specific house for 2 years. Please." I stare at her. "You posted lies about me on Instagram before even talking to me. You tried to break into my house with a key you somehow got, which is why you now have a trespassing charge." My dad's face turns red. "This isn't who we raised you to be. You raised me to work hard and be honest." I shoot back. "What happened to those values?" He slams his fist on the table. "I have connections in this town, Brenda. Colleagues in important places. By the time we're done, you'll wish you'd never bought that house." Victoria's pen freezes. "Is that a threat?" "It's a promise," Dad says, and storms out. Court day finally arrives. Judge Patricia Thornton reviews everything. The will divided the estate equally with no stipulations. There is no written evidence of any verbal agreement. Furthermore, bank records confirm Ms. Reynolds purchased the property using verifiably earned income. She pauses. "I find the plaintiff's conduct deeply troubling, particularly the attempted unauthorized entry. Case dismissed with prejudice. Ms. Reynolds is entitled to legal fees from the plaintiffs." The gavel cracks down. Outside, my mom grabs my arm. "We need to talk as a family. We can fix this." I step back. "You chose a courtroom instead of talking. We made a mistake." Dad admits. "You thought you could bully me into giving up what I earned." I say quietly. "Some lines once crossed change everything." "So that's it?" Lauren asks. I said, "I'm sorry. What more can I do? I don't want anything from you anymore. That's the point." Victoria steps forward. "My client has a restraining order prepared if there are any further attempts at contact." That evening, Uncle Gerald raises his glass at my house, to Brenda, who stood her ground. "Your grandparents would be incredibly proud." I look around at the people who actually supported me. Family isn't just about blood. It's about respect and honesty. The house keys sit on my coffee table. Solid, real, and undeniably mine. Some promises aren't yours to make.